So this week in Black history, all the way back in 1865, 2 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was signed, enslaved black people in Texas finally learned about them being free. When Union troops arrived and told them that the Confederacy had lost the Civil War 2 years later. Today we call that Juneteenth. Amen. It's amazing. It took 2 years, man. All that free labor and all that. But thank God they finally found out about that. So Juneteenth is actually this Wednesday, right? This week in Black history, all the way back in 1877, a young man by the name of Henry O. Flipper became the first African American. He was a former slave, became the first African American to graduate from West Point Academy. Handsome young man, handsome young man. Do you know that people were so jealous of him in the armed forces, they actually cooked up some charges against him and court-martialed him, kicked him out of the army. Later on, decades later, his family protested and they said he hadn't done anything wrong, they just did it because he was black. But he was a superior officer, and we celebrate Brother Flipper today. Finally, this week in Black history, in 1944, a young man by the name of George Stinney Jr. down in South Carolina was executed. He was killed. He was 90 pounds, 14 years old. He was falsely accused of raping and murdering a couple of young white girls. He didn't do it. He is now known as the youngest person executed in the United States in the 20th century. 70 years later, his conviction was turned over. Didn't do him any good, but it's important that we understand what justice is and what justice should be. And we should remember young men like him that never got a chance to be a man, accused of something he didn't do. So now we know more stuff. I know that's a downer, Pastor. That's history. That's what happened this week in Black history. So give yourselves a hand. You now know more than you used to. Amen.